Did we talk about on the show that the Blade news, the guy who died on his stream?
Yes.
Or maybe
was that in the hangout?
Blade stream? Someone.
Do you want to lay the whole thing out? Do you have
the
broad strokes? Do you know the whole thing?
I have the broad strokes of it.
Lay it out.
So basically, and someone in the comments will correct all shit I'm wrong on, but Blade and then a few other guys were in like a streamer house where they all obviously stream and whatnot. And one person named Willie was like a fan of Blade's stream. And he kind of got involved in it on the content side, where now he was on like in the house and, chatting with the people and like the text to speech. I guess he drove cross country. I didn't even know he drove that far. So
I was told 12 to 18 hours or something.
Jesus Christ. So like for a big part of the country. Yeah. 18 hours if he's driving that far. And they're all in this house streaming, and lots of boozing, lots of, seemingly some drugs going down there. And this guy Willie took apparently he took a bunch of Ambien or some kind of pill that obviously is not going to interact with alcohol in a way that's safe. Xanax, that was another one, a benzodiazepine that can straight up just kill you because it will shut down your respiration and everything. You don't want to do not mix drugs, folks. Do not mix benzos and alcohol or any of that. Don't put benzos.
Sometimes
you don't. And this guy, I guess, was on those or Ambien, something like that. I saw a couple different things, but basically he was on some kind of pills that like make drinking like a death wish, basically. And he started, I saw a clip of him drinking on the stream, Willie, and I guess someone paid on the chat, the text to speech.
Donated to himself.
And he took like a whole like most of a solo cup filled with Crown Royal, which is whiskey. So like probably 6 shots worth in there, a huge amount. And that amount all in your system at once is already a shit ton. But with pills like a benzo in your system or Ambien, benzo makes more sense, like Xanax, like you will get to the point that like your central nervous system is so depressed that like you stop breathing, your heart stops beating, like you will die. And this guy is clearly like totally out of it. He's unconscious. He's unconscious on his feet. He passed out on his feet, leaning up against a railing. And it wasn't Blade stream. It was one of the guys he was with. Was standing there filming Willie as he's like totally out, like just basically almost wheezing with his breathing. And he's like joking, being like, oh, he's going to fall. Everybody, we should make sure he doesn't fall. We should make sure he doesn't fall from where he's standing onto the ground here. And the guy's clearly going to fall. If he wanted to help him not fall, you would have just sincerely grabbed the guy and kind of gently, any adult man could have done that, like got him on the ground in a safe way, or preferably to bed or to the hospital. At that time, they didn't know he had to go there. And he collapses onto the ground, falls very, very hard. Some people said online, like, oh, it looks like he hit his head. I didn't really see that it looked like he hit his head that hard. It looked like he just kind of went down almost like sack of potatoes, not a big head knock, but it wasn't, I don't think they're even claiming a head knock had anything to do with it. He was on the ground, like totally out, not with it. And instead of calling the paramedics, they started, like, I saw one person held his nose for a bit, like he's not breathing correctly. And one person, it wasn't Blade, it was one of the other guys, was like held his nose for a bit, pretty shitty. And then also they started painting his face. So they have like black and red and white paint, and they're slathering it all over this guy's face. They're writing Juggalo on his stomach. They are like putting like Insane Clown Posse stuff on him. Maybe that was an inside joke, I don't know. But I don't know how long into that, probably an hour or so, they realized like this is not a guy who's just passed out. Like he's not breathing correctly. He's like doing that knocked out, like wheezy guy, like fast breaths, like very unnatural. And so they call the paramedics, and I think it was actually Blade that called the paramedics. And I did see the clip of Blade like talking to the paramedic on the phone and was holding the guy's head and being like, do we keep him on his side? Do we keep him straight up? And the paramedic person is like, all right, every time he exhales, tell me. And so Blade's like, he exhaled.
Blade is?
Blade was saying this on the phone, and the woman's like, okay, his respiration is very, very fast right now. Okay, make sure that he still continues to breathe, keep his neck elevated and his head, and this and that. I'll send people out there. The paramedics get out there, and immediately one of the streamer dudes is like, they're still streaming it. The guy is still streaming it. I don't know what Blade's buddy's name was. I wouldn't give him the attention even if I did. And he is like talking to the paramedics like, we're streamers, we do YouTube. And like, as someone who like does a podcast that's on YouTube, I'm like, oh, that's fucking embarrassing. Why would you say that even?
Oh, you should have said that right away, sir. We'll send
we'll
YouTube
send
streaming ambulance. It's got some cool bitches in it with Diddy.
And so, for good content. And so then
I guess to bring some fucking marijuana. Like, what are you doing? Like, do you think there's a different line or something for streamer YouTubers? You cocksucker.
Like they get in there and they start trying to. He's dying. They're trying to help him. The paramedics are like, "Get me off camera. I don't want to be filmed." And the guy's like, "Oh, we're YouTubers. We do that." And it's like, dude, a guy's like in. The paramedics are already here. Like, it's already an emergency. You didn't call them for fun. Like, what are you
Wait,
fucking
they're recording paramedics, and the paramedics are like, get us off camera?
The guy, it was one of the guys who was there with Blade was like started lifting his phone up, and paramedics are like, I don't want to be on your camera. Like, they're at work, and their job is to keep people from dying. So, yeah, they don't want to be on your fucking stream.
Can we pause right here for a moment and make a judgment call on that move alone, isolated on an island by itself? Let's say you were there. You just arrived. Or you've been there a while, but you didn't drug this man, and you could have helped him if you'd seen it, but you didn't see him. You're not culpable in any way.
Yeah.
I think I still am going to stream the paramedics helping the guy, because I'm not trying to be exploitative, but if I'm streaming and someone goes down as being life or death paramedics, like, turns out my life got interesting today, right? Like that's the way I see it.
I would not feel comfortable streaming someone who was like in a life-threatening situation.
It could go well though, and then it's a happy moment for everyone.
The best case scenario is he doesn't die. I wouldn't do that shit.
Living, streaming your day-to-day life, and then the most interesting thing, that could be the most interesting thing these guys see their entire life. If you're them, you film it.
I understand their impulse too, definitely, and they clearly have no scruples, and so like they were gonna do it. But like, I personally would not feel comfortable if I were in a house and Kyle, you took a bunch of Xanax and then you guzzle the solo cup full of shit and you're on the floor wheezing. Don't
stream me, Diane. God damn it! I wouldn't stream you. But if you fucking loser drives cross country and like poisons himself in front of you, and you happen to be there, I might want to keep. All right, we need to documentate everything that happens. I'm going to record. I'm going to stream.
We need to read this obituary.
Please, Woody,
is there a real
please read that obituary, because I'm sure that everyone would like to hear these beautiful words.
Willie Two Guns, 52, of Kansas City, Missouri, passed on August 25th, 2023. He was surrounded by alcoholics and drug addicts in his death. This selfless man spent some of his last dollars buying energy drinks and T-shirts for a fentanyl addict at Walmart. Wow.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Damn. I thought it was going to be a real obituary. But no.
That is the real obituary. It mentions his screen name. Willie Two Guns with the number 2.
Willie Two Guns with the 2.
That was in the newspaper.
That's fucking wild. I don't think he's of Kansas City, because that's where that shit happened if he drove across.
I guess Willie Two Guns took Only Use Me Blade's, is it wife or girlfriend?
It looks like the drama there is like, I guess Willie was dating his ex-girlfriend, maybe?
It says he stole her from Only Use Me Blade. Now, I don't know what to make of that. I don't know what the truth is, but that's what's in front of me.
Yeah. Either way, this guy.
It's crazy that he and Blade were hanging out drinking in the first place.
That he like went there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
being that they had this woman between them, you would think it would be awkward or volatile.
I wonder if it was like going before he went to like meet up with their group, or if it was like they met there. I don't know. I guess
no, I think that's old news, him like getting his girl. I don't know anything about that shit. All I know is what I saw and what I took from the whole fucking thing was clearly someone's dying in front of us and nobody's helping. And it was real upsetting to watch.
Yeah.
Especially the way they were. I particularly did not like them holding his nose. It was brief, but when someone's struggling for breath to stay alive, that I don't like that a bit. And then painting his face, man, if this goes to court in some sort of civil suit, even like all of them are in a lot of trouble. The fact that he bought the shots for himself is no good. He poisoned himself. It should be phrased that way. You can't even say that someone donated and made him do it or coerced him. He showed up. Sure. He drove that all the way across the country to put on a show, and he did it. And he drank more than he could and poisoned himself. But then nobody helped him. They let him die there. Like lots of people drink too much. They don't die on the floor in front of everyone though, because eventually somebody. I don't know. That was pretty fucked up.
Xanax, which is a brand name for benzo, maybe. Does anyone?
It's a type of benzodiazepine. Yeah,
it's good stuff.
But it doesn't mix well with alcohol at all. And
not.
And I'm curious, like, what did the other people in the house know that he had taken a bunch of these pills? Because if like the other people in the house knew he had taken these pills and he drank that much and passed out, like that's an immediate emergency. Like, no, this guy was taking Xanax and he passed out with drinking. We need to get him to the hospital or he will die. You're
right. I'm not sure that's common knowledge, though. So when I saw him passed out, it looked like any other passed out. Mm-hmm. So they might not have understood the gravity of the situation.
That's what I was thinking. Like, it's like,
I'm sorry.
I mean, but these guys see people passed out all the time.
That's true. So I've never. I can't think of anybody that I've seen that's like passed out, like knocked out, maybe like choked out, and he comes right back, but so drunk or drugged that they can't answer a slap to the face and come to. That would be so fucking scary. Immediately, I'd call somebody. Like, if you can't answer me, then we've got to call for help. That's it.
Yeah, especially like if they did know that he had taken a bunch of benzos or whatever the pill was, and then responded that way after drinking that much booze, like that's an instant, like dire
emergency.
Maybe they didn't know. I don't know the story of it, but that is the most depressing way to die.
It's surprising it didn't happen sooner, based on what we see highlights occasionally. I don't really watch them because it's kind of rough to watch. It's not my cup of tea to see people poison and be mean to each other on usually a RV. Like Ice Poseidon, his RV idea has become this awful, evil, proliferating
deadly
thing. Oh my god! Like.
Dude, did you read the Blade Keemstar texts?
No,
I did. I saw that. Like, apparently, you go ahead and read them.
I'll read it. All right,
you might have to do a little censorship.
I'll do my best. So Blade, apparently, there's the first one I'm about to read is drunk, and then it comes sober, but we'll see. I just woke up, bro. What is your problem? What happened to you? This is Blade talking, I think. Mm-hmm. I'm disgusted to have ever help you, you talentless leeching. You must be bored or evil. Here's the deal. Don't mention me ever. I don't mention you. You should have necked in the womb. Your shitty drama alert channel, which I came up with, by the way, you talentless. The thing is, you were never my friend. It was an opportunity for you to grow a YouTube channel. Because besides determination, you're nothing. That dumb kid at recess that tries the hardest. I grew up knowing kids like you, losers that think if they try harder than the other kids, then maybe they might make it. You are the equivalent of an ugly B-cupper that thinks she deserves the prom crown. 100 years from now, when the dust settles, people will forget about you and I'll live on. I'm so disappointed in myself for ever helping you. This is Blade talking. Your interview and everything you stand for, piece of shit. The thing is, I don't hate you. I wouldn't go to your funeral, though. I am... Okay, it doesn't take over from there. I'm sure you're going to make a video or whatever. Here's my statement. Willie died a month later from complications from ventilator. I called ambulance and stayed on the line with the operator until the paramedics came. I was sober and I didn't give him any booze or knew that he wasn't supposed to drink because of the medication he was taking, because of a rollover car crash a month prior. There is no police investigation. Anybody saying that is giving misinformation. Double dog toss, : I dropped, not tossed, dropped the dog like 2 feet, including a picture to show the dog fall was not what the angle is. Same thing as your dog toss years ago. Clearly not okay, but not as outrageous as you people make it out to be.
Stop tossing dogs.
Yeah. Last note, going sober. I've done it before. You've helped me before. Not making promises, but this time shit's old. Every negative thing stems from that. I do appreciate you in the past going out of your way to help me out multiple times and knowing I'm better than the booze. So it looks like Blade and Keem are not friends anymore.
No, I don't think they've been. I think Keem kind of disowned him a while ago after that first. Yes, well read.
I'm known for my insight.
Very big tone change. Very big tone change in those texts between the wasted one and the sober one. Jesus Christ. And it's like to have to like talk about like I didn't know the guy was on the pills and that, and it's like that could very well be true. Like could be, but to then I
don't blame Blade. It was the other guys that were there painting his face and pinching his nose that I don't like. And I don't like the guy who
Blade was painting his face or doing that.
I don't like that the guy let him fall. Although I'd have probably let him fall. Yeah, I'd have let him fall. Just being real. Some stranger so drunk he's sliding down a wall. I'm gonna dive across the room. I don't know him. Fuck you.
I didn't see that part.
I don't know you. Fuck you.
Come on, be real. You're at a bar and you see some fucking schlub sliding down the wall. That guy, and you're gonna dive in there and help him out,
dude. Like, if I would have been when I put myself in that house, like my real self is like I would have been there for 15 seconds before I was like, this is the most depressing place I can imagine being. Is there a Dave and Buster's nearby?
When we peeked in that, all right. So I remember when we were in Boston, and me and Woody like go up to y'all's hotel room, and we like peeked in there, and it was like, cool. All right then, bye. Yes, because there's like 20 of you dudes living in this one little room with a Xbox. I think it was like
everyone's 19.
Nowhere to sit, huh?
Yeah, they were budget oriented.
Smells bad in here.
Yeah.
But no, that's that whole thing. I'm not jumping in and helping anybody sliding down the wall, so I won't judge that. But I didn't like how they like fucked with him on the ground. And I'll say again, the reason I wouldn't grab somebody down the wall, like I don't know if that's a homeless guy and he's all nasty and stuff, or he's gonna get needles in his pockets. I don't know if he's just goofing around and me going over there, he's gonna fight me now. I don't know if he is falling, but me going over there, he's gonna still fight me now. I don't want any part of crazy man falling down the wall. He's on his fucking own. Hit your head.
But I know that if each of us were there, and let's say he fell down, and you walk over and you're like, "What the hell's going on with this guy?" And then someone goes, "Oh, he took a bunch of Xanax and then drank a solo cup of whiskey." You'd be like, "Wait,
I gotta go."
So the ambulance is on the way, right? All right, I'm gonna call the ambulance on the way out. Put in a little anonymous tip. Hey, you got to send an ambulance here right away because someone's overdosing. Their imminent death is nearby. Like, send someone
now.
The move. What's my name? I'm just a good Samaritan.
Here's the move. Give me your phone, person who's going to be staying at this party with the person. I'm going to call 911. Hey, 911. Yeah, I'm about to put you on with Jeff. This is his phone. We're at this address. X, Y, and Z. Dude's down. Here, tell him the rest. And then I'm calm. I'm gone.
Then you're gone.
Why is it so important to be gone and not be?
I don't want to be here when the dude dies.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to
be here for questioning.
If I stumble in this situation, I'll be like, "Whoa, these guys are fucked up." But I'm the adult in the room and I'm sober right now. I'm calling the ambulance. I'm going to give a accurate status report. No, he's not ambulatory. His breathing is irregular. I think this is urgent. I'm not afraid of that.
I'd like to get out of there, but you're right. Like when you phrase it that way, like.
Taylor, he's saying we don't have to.
Oh, if we're all together, yeah.
Yeah, you can go. I'll take care of it.
We can go to
Hardee's to stay behind while we get back to the hotel and clean out the mini bar to make our hands stop shaking. Because that would be the most stressful night of all time.
Oh, we'd have to hit a dispensary on the way back. It's Kansas City, so illegal. We'd be good.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, that genuinely is a shame.
But you guys missed the big news. Blade's sober now. If he throws chicken and broccoli into this mix, he's going to prove me right.
If
Blade,
I would love to see him turn it around and prove me right.
Foot's going to start getting good circulation. Diabetes will go away.
I mean, does he have the
you can
beatus?
fix that with diet. Yeah, he has the beatus badly. That's what the cause of the.
I bet it'd be easier to get into P-play if you had the beatus.
Oh,
because it would taste so good. That makes perfect sense.
Makes your pee sweet because your body can't filter out all that.
It's not actually sweet though. It's like it's probably
sweet like
only
sugar.
Sweet in the world. Of pee.
Is it a little tangy, Taylor?
No, it's sweet. It's like cane syrup.
No, you know the kind of piss I like? I like a 60-year-old coffee drinker, like just a black coffee drinker, where it's just so much you can smell the coffee through in the piss. Coffee and asparagus, those both can get through.
I love asparagus. It's delicious. It's good even with nothing on it. Like I can spray it with like a little bit of Pam and put salt and pepper on it. And it's good, but I don't eat it because I don't like how my piss smells. It's offensive to me. Like I don't. I'm in the It's so gross.
Yeah, but it's one of the best vegetables, so you just deal with it.
No, I don't. I don't eat asparagus.
And it goes through your body so quickly. Like you
cut out all leafy greens as well. Except for spinach.
All of them.
But I cook the spinach.
Oh, okay.
No raw leafy greens, of course. No sprouts.
Oh,
I'm really scared by that documentary.
We didn't touch on the dog thing again. The dog throwing, or as he put it, the dropping. How do you do that again? How do you again do that? And he did it twice on that stream where he was just holding a dog and then just like almost like aggressively dropped the dog.
I don't like that at all because I don't like people throwing dogs or dropping dogs. I didn't watch it, but everybody who watched it the other day, they were like, oh, that's they reacted strongly to it. So I know I don't want to see it.
So he held the dog and then he kind of dumped it. He didn't throw it for distance. He just kind of dumped it, and he did it twice. And like Blade, if you're watching this, cats are for dropping. They're built for it.
You can chunk a cat.
Yeah, you can.
They might like it.
Cat, like
probably have fun with it.
Didn't we? Hey, I can't remember. Because the drugs. But didn't we determine that a cat could be dropped from almost any height and survive the fall?
Tall skyscrapers.
Yeah.
Actually, they don't always survive, but they sometimes do, more than people.
Like way more than you'd think. If you put a small parachute on a cat, it can survive from any distance.
Nah, I bet that would throw it off.
No, if you do it right, it would have to land on its feet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's going to
get a little glider on it, so it goes. That's
Tat cat.
This is my
all
new
I'm
hobby.
saying is throw cats, Blade. Don't throw fucking dogs. They're not good at it.
There's no way to win someone over by abusing a dog.
No.
Everybody likes dogs.
I hate the instinct that Blade had. Like, I don't know how many times I've seen him on stream dropping and throwing dogs. 4 maybe,
like 3 times. Well, the really bad one was the one years ago where he just like threw a dog and it was like flipped almost seemingly.
Yeah, and that dog, like, so he abused the dog and then he picked the dog up and the dog was so loving and just like endearing towards Blade, and then he did it again to the dog, and that what is it a parasocial relationship? What is it called? Taylor, you taught me a new word recently.
Parasocial is like someone developing a imagined relationship with like they listen to a podcast a lot and they're like, I know this guy. So it would be,
I thought it was like unrequited love, but so I used it incorrectly. Anyway, yeah, that dog loved Blade so much, and it was so just like wanting to snuggle and make up, and Blade did it again to it, and it was a special kind of cruel to me. Yeah,
that's me. It's like the first time the dog was probably like, oh, sorry, boss. Did you drop me on accident, boss? It's okay. It happens sometimes. And it's like, no, it doesn't happen. Number one, where he just like, unless you're like the dog of a very elderly person who just loses strength in their arm, like, no. Have you ever been in the midst of making one of your videos and you had like a change of heart about the person you were making it on? where it's like,
No.
oh man,
No.
no, never.
No. I am working on one right now that's kind of tangential to a friend of the show, Blade.
Okay.
I'm working on that one.
Okay.
Maybe you can fill us in a bit more on what he's been up to. We're not as up to date.
The latest thing I saw after the whole thing with Willie dying, obviously, was he was walking in the middle of the road, like on the median in the middle of the night, filming himself walking with like cars going by and like swerving around him. That was the last thing I saw. Apart from that, he's upset about the fact that people said not to donate to his streams because he's just going to buy more alcohol. He was kind of upset about that. I want to say Keemstar or something said like don't donate to his streams, and he was like, he's already telling people not to donate to my streams. Like, I just like need money, man. Like content, man. And that was like when he was maybe 3 shots in, so basically sober. But yeah, I mean he's super fucked up. I think he's probably going to die pretty soon. I wouldn't be shocked at all.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Keemstar might be almost onto something here though. Like if you really wanted to help Lled, then the deal that you'd want to make with him as a fan base,
yes, to starve him. Yeah.
Well, no, it would be like we'll only donate to constructive content. Like if you want to go in the park today and go for a walk and have a picnic, I'll donate to that. But if you crack a beer, no,
he's immediately going to take that money and buy beer.
Well, buy his Jägermeister.
I can't change his life. I can only change his streams.
Is he? I thought I heard something where he wasn't drinking after the Willie situation. I assume based on what you're saying that's not happening. He's still drinking.
That is my belief. But going through his history has been fun. Just reading about old COD stuff because I used to watch some of that back in the day, like X Jaws and people like that, and all the Alki David stuff. I want to do a video just about Alki David because that guy's story is so interesting to me, and I don't even totally understand it yet.
That'd be a good one. When's the Blade one dropping, or do you not know yet?
I don't know yet. I've been waiting because it's actually pretty much done. I want to do an interview with Keemstar to get his thoughts because I know he was Blade's friend for a long time. And apparently, I just found this out recently. Keemstar paid for his rehab like 3 or 4 times, like to get him in rehab, at least according to him. And then he like flunked out every single time. You okay, Kyle? I see you struggling a little bit over there. You all right?
If that's true, that's really cool of him. If he paid for him.
Yeah. I mean, I assume he didn't just outright lie about that.
I mean, who knows?
Yeah, right. I know for a fact Keemstar is a rabid liar because he talks about me. But
what did he say about you? That you're awesome and tall?
For example, I remember at Woodycraft, we had this guy who was buying stuff and charging things back, and he bought like $5,000 from Woodycraft. Another, I think he ran $1,000 ad on the show. It was like $6,000 in my universe and $4,000 to like other Twitch streamers. And he charged back all $10,000. Now, when he was buying at Woodycraft, we observed his like out of this world buying patterns. So we cut him off and we talked to his mom and we're like, this guy's spending a ton. Is this like? I'm
sorry, you talked to Keemstar's mom?
No, the customer. His name was.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Like no, so this player at Woodycraft was spending a lot of money. $5,000 at Woodycraft, $5,000 elsewhere, and we called the player's mom, and she's like, "It is okay. This is within his gaming budget. It's all thumbs up." So we're like, "Okay, what are we supposed to do?" And then when he tired of the server and no longer wanted to play at Woodycraft, he charged back all $5,000, which by the way cost me like $12,000 because he was buying like $5 amounts. And not only do we have to pay back the $5, but there's a $35 charge for getting charged back. So it's like, fuck. It was like I was at like $12,000. Other people were out, whatever they were out. And I hired an attorney to like chase this down and figure it out. And really my goal was to stop other people from doing the same thing. We had people who would buy stuff and charge it back like it was a game. Meanwhile, it's costing me $35 a pop. And Keemstar did a video on it. And he said that this poor innocent soul meant to pay 100, left out the decimal point, and paid 10,000. That is not what happened at all. That is not even a thing that can happen. It's like Amazon. Like you don't choose your own prices on shit. Like you don't enter in the price. He completely made that up out of thin air and said that I was like punishing and going after this poor innocent child over a typo.
You don't think maybe the child like just told him that Keem just felt bad and believed it?
Right. I don't think that at all. I think Keemstar completely made it up that he wasn't in contact with this kid. And I think he also knew the store is online. You can see it. You don't enter your own prices. No one thought that was true except people who believe Keemstar's lies.
Why do you think he did that? To like sensationalize it?
Keemstar has hated me for 15 years now. It goes both ways. So
really?
Well, yeah, so he's made a lot of videos just telling lies about me and or just painting me in a bad light. And because I'm the target of his videos, not for a long time, but because I've been the target of his videos, I know the truth, and I know that Keemstar makes shit up.
Well, I guess it's a good thing I'm about to do a video with him then, right?
You can get to the bottom of it. Yeah.
Ask him about that.
I would believe that he paid for Blade's rehab because they used to be really tight. Like they used to be boys. I think they like, yeah, he's very successful financially. I think they lived together at some point back in the day, right? Or maybe
they did. Yeah, they
maybe not live together. Maybe like Keemstar allowed Blade to live with him.
Blade moved to Buffalo during the COD days to like live there, which is around the time that the
podcast together.
Yeah, they did. What was it? Bad Kids Club, I think.
That sounds right.
Something like
close to that.
Bad Kids.
You know, I don't know where he moved from, but I think of Buffalo as not a fun place to live. So that
he moved from, I think Seattle. I want to say.
I'd much rather be in Seattle than Buffalo.
It's either rain or snow.
I think Blade said he didn't like Buffalo, but
it's cold.
Keemstar likes it, so you can.
He does like
Fair
it.
enough.
Yeah, I just looked over at Blade's channel. He is still drinking.
Probably drinking right now as we speak.
He could be right now. Yeah, I don't know what. Damn, that's so wild. Like you click on a stream, scrub 2 hours forward, and he's just like obliterated.
Part of the problem with that video is he's like a copyright abuser serially, so I just don't want to deal with like a copyright strike for a week and a half when he inevitably strikes the video, and then I can't make money for a week or whatever. Like that's pretty annoying.
Oh, Blade's been known to copyright strike.
Yeah.
Oh, just because you'll have to use clips of him like saying something.
Yeah.
And
he'll just file false DMCA, and then it's like I'm not going to sue him back. Like I'm not gonna get any money out of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like you just have to file an appeal, and then he gets my legal name and address, which is also fun. So it's just a whole issue.
Have you come upon anything alarming that's like not in the public storyline of Blade going through the story or not?
Oh, it's all out there. It's literally all out there. I mean, his entire life since 2009 or something, or 11 is all documented publicly. So everything you want to know about Blade is all on live stream, and it's him saying it himself. Some very funny moments though, like back in the day when there was some point in time when he was talking to some girl, and if you know a lot about Blade, you'll know, or even a little, you'll know when he drinks, he gets a little racist with it. And he was talking to some girl, and he was like, "You like black guys?" She was like, "No, yeah, they're fine." And he was like, "You N-word lover." And then she leaves, and then one of his like friends calls him, and he's like, hey Blade, you got to get off stream right now, man. You're on Twitch, you're gonna get banned. Like, just get off, delete the VOD, and like sober up, and in the morning you'll be fine. And Blade's like, it says the N-word again.
Oh wow.
And then hangs up and just keeps streaming. Another great moment from Blade is at one point he stands up, like he stands up with his ass to the camera and pulls his pants down and like puts his fingers in his asshole. That's a good one.
Yes, that
I've heard that one. Yeah, I have not been blessed to see the clip, and I don't think I want to.
It.
Well, I have been blessed. I have seen the Eye of Horror.
You've had to like you're fact checking it. You're like, all right, let's cross reference these butthole skin lines with the other times he showed.
For research. Well, we're trying to track the progress of his butthole over time to see how much it's been affected.
When he was like macking on that girl while her husband had just stepped away. Was wild one too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a fan of his wife.
The guy was a huge fan. I heard,
like a super fan. I think they were at his house.
The funniest part of that is so that starts at like a fan meetup with Keemstar, and so Blade's there, Keem's there, and then this guy comes with this girl, and they're not married at that point, and he's like, "Oh my God, Blade, I want you to see this," and he proposes to her in front of Blade. And then 2 years later is when the groping thing happened.
Goodness.
Which is like the whole marriage is tied to Blade somehow.
That's worse than I thought. That they should have known from the start there having
Destined for
a
greatness.
proposal in
Man,
front
when
of
did it
Blade.
stop being about stabbing people in Call of Duty is what I want to know.
I think around like 2013, 2012, maybe Tom would
Whenever
know.
COD died, like when
That's
COD was
all I
kind of
wanna
on the way
see.
out, and Minecraft was the new thing, that's like the beginning of the end for him.
Yeah, remember Chill Sunday commentary? Just knifing people in COD 4. Simpler times.
With White Boy 7th Street.
With White Boy, no shenanigans going on in the back of RVs. Nothing like that.
Shenanigans, is that what you call that?
A little non-reciprocative play. Is that
Tomfoolery?
Yeah, tomfoolery. Groping an unconscious girl. Like that's what I believe it was, right?
I mean, that's he says he didn't. I don't know. He told Chris Hansen he didn't, but
you can watch
we can
the
infer,
video.
we can infer what happened.
See everything though. For people who didn't see the video, Blade saunters over to the front of the RV, I think, and you kind of see his feet, and it kind of looks like there's some level of snuggling, humping, something happening on. But you're looking at feet under a blanket. So
he says,
like,
but he says he went to bed. I don't think he went to bed. He was doing.
He's a restless sleeper, it would seem.
Maybe they were like doing jujitsu. He was like putting her in like
They were
blocks,
so
whatever.
good.
I do, yeah, because that clip, it was him talking to that Norwegian or Finnish guy Bjorn,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he's like, "I'm gonna go back there," and Bjorn's like, "To the passed out unconscious girl," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go back there." He's like, "Okay."
I
And then
think
he's
Blade
just like-
says, "I'm gonna have
Bjorn's like-
sex with her." I think he says that.
Something like maybe even that's what he said, like even worse, like that.
Let's hope he
It
didn't.
seems like he went back.
Yeah,
there with
let's hope he
intent.
allegedly. I don't know.
Let's hope he didn't say that.
Let's hope
But-
he did not say that, because then that would be pretty open and shut case.
I'm pretty positive. I'm pretty positive he says that, and then in the follow-up interview, he's like, "I was just joking. We're making jokes like that all night. I just like wasn't going to do that. You know, I just went to bed,
He's in
man."
character.
Officer, I did grope her, but you can hear me saying honk honk when I was grabbing her boobs.
Officer,
That
let's
joke-
let's be serious about this. You're not going to unrape her now, so let's just all go home and not worry about this.
You know what? Let's chalk this up to a who knows. You know,
Who done it? Who done it?
my take on this, who's to say? And the officers are like, no, go to get in the car.
No harm, no foul. She wasn't even alive. She wasn't even
last
awake.
warning,
She didn't know.
sir. Last
What
warning.
did the girl say about it? I don't
She said
even
she
know
got.
what
She
her
said she got raped. Yeah,
That's
rape
what she said.
groped.
yeah. No, I think she said that she got sexually assaulted in the back there. Yeah,
Oh, I believe her.
Gucci's.
Believe all women.
Did she? Oh man, I'm trying to. I was holding out hope that that's not what happened.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like
I
it
guess.
was.
I mean, technically, we don't have like a GoPro video of him doing it, but you know,
Well, I think this
feel
might
like-
be another case of a lady lying on a rich, successful titan of industry. Wait a minute.
They do that, don't they?
She was trying to get all those.
All right,
those
might not be
affiliates.
that. All right, it's not that. So
I my suspicion is it's way easier to like emotionally recover from a guy coming up and kissing your neck in an unwanted way compared to like fucking you.
But if that's not what she said happened, if she said that he like was back there molesting her, then
Yeah.
based on the video, I am inclined to believe her. I don't know
I
if
saw
that's
the
what she
video and I think I was holding out hope that he made a pass at her, got shot down, and that's all that happened.
Actually,
No,
I
no,
probably
that
have
was
the-
definitely not like a pass and shoot down thing. Like she was out and he like ambled / stumbled back there, got in bed, a lot of movement. Like,
well, who's to say?
I'm very biased. I was just being biased and hopeful.
I'm hopeful as well. I don't want to say I don't know what happened. I'm hopeful that nothing awful happened, but you know,
seems like a little Occam's razor right now. Like what's
I don't know that. No.
I think I have a
don't do
video of her
that.
saying it right.
you can't do that. It has
Don't
to be
like-
a Rube Goldberg machine of mayhaps and who's to say? And, you know, and then the what's she talking about? Marble falls in the I was joking bucket and traps the rat. Like no, it seems pretty. If I had no idea the girl claimed that because that's
I just put the
damning.
minute long clip in there, so you guys can see that. But
Oh,
yeah,
thank you.
a little dark.
I will always remember Blade as that dude who walks through TSA with a pocket full of weed and just somehow doesn't get detected, and the guy who ate all those hot dogs in Seattle, and that's a nice guy, and I never seen him do nothing to nobody.
Do people do that all the time? Weed? Don't they just and other stuff?
No. I mean, all right. So not back then. Not back then. This is maybe 10 years ago. Like he just had it in his pocket though, like in his breast pocket. He took a pack of Swishers. I don't know, is it 4 or 5 in there? He rolled them all up, and with weed, and put them back into the package and stuck it right in his breast pocket. It sticks out the top of your pocket, and he walked straight through like the metal detectors he never took it out of his pocket. And there we were in Seattle or wherever, and it was just like he had weed. The coolest guy I could find.
Yeah,
That's
that clip
amazing.
does not do him any favors.
You just watched the 1 minute video?
Yeah, the victim of
Me
it saying
too.
like he wasn't charged because I didn't bring the charges forward. It happened though. It happened. Like it's been hard to recover from. Like fuck Blade and fuck Bjorn is what she said. That's really truncated.
Yeah.
She said she hates them. Yeah, and the only thing Taylor didn't mention is like she's in a lot of obvious emotional distress.
Yeah,
And
I believe her.
After that happens, there's this like hilarious clip when they're in the RV and Blade's like, "Man, what if we just like dump her on the side of the road, man?" And Bjorn's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" He's like, "Just get rid of her, man. Like she's not content."
She's not content. Damn, cold-blooded.
and he's wrong. We're still talking about that content years later.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, there's clip after clip. When he's sober, he says he's innocent. When he's drunk, there's clips of him being like, "I'd do it again." So it's just like,
Man, I'm having a hard time standing beside my old friend Blade these days.
I hear you.
He said I would do it again.
I got the clip. Yeah, of course.
All right,
Man, man, he's a clip factory. He's a fact finder.
Bob's got receipts, man.
I gotta say, I don't like any of that one bit. And I clicked that little link, and I didn't know what the link was gonna be, but it's just some little girl like complaining about getting raped, and that's pretty hard.
That is a way to put it, I guess.
I thought you had like a blurry like GoPro that saw some legs twitch in the dark or something, but it's like her saying, "Yes, he did this to me," and I don't like. That's hard to watch. I don't like any of this now. I liked it when I just didn't look into this enough to know.
Kyle,
anything.
watch that clip that
and
Tom
it was
just
nebulous.
linked, and tell me where you're coming down now.
Oh, come on now.
Oh,
All right,
If you can still find an avenue, you need to go into politics.
yeah, it happens right about 8. I'll be quiet.
Yeah, he
Said it 3 times, right?
said it 3 times. He said he would do it again 3
times the charm.
He did. That's not. It's an imprecise. It's paraphrasing.
Yeah, that's imprecise. He was more cruel about it.
He said, "I'll grape again 3 times in a row."
Out of context.
Yeah, out of context. He was practicing lines for a play, actually. So
I was gonna think
take
what
that
context
into
could
account.
possibly fix that, but that would.
none.
We all have different definitions of words. Okay, it could be something
Okay,
entirely
all right.
different.
I've got newer information because I watched the video that was recommended after the one that you sent me, and
Okay.
it's her in like an alley. It looks like something from Trailer Park Boys, by the way. They're like in an alley doing drugs or some shit. She's sitting cross-legged, and what she said was, "He didn't me, but he did sexually assault me." So, still pretty awful what's happened here.
I scrolled through the subreddit a little bit before coming on tonight, and I noticed that Only Use Me Blade has been up to some hijinks, and I don't think, honestly, I would say I don't think much is going to come of him after this year. I think he's probably going to not survive, but I also think he's going to prove everyone wrong and survive. Because at this point, I saw the one of him in a motel recently. I think it was New Year's, getting kicked out and by the police.
He was getting swatted.
I saw a clip.
Was
of
that?
Yeah.
So you say swatted? Do you know more than that video? Because to
Well,
me,
that
it
was the
looked like a
hotel call.
wellness check.
Yeah, the
I
hotel
know they
called the cops to
swatted
kick
him.
him out.
They swat. The comments claim of that video
Okay.
claim that he'd been swatted out of one place, and now he was getting swatted out of this place, and like that's a regular thing that just happens. I don't know why the hotel would be doing a wellness check.
From what I saw,
sitting there comatose.
Oh, I didn't say hotel. I thought a
room.
viewer called the police and said, "Hey, there's this guy at this location. I'm not sure he's okay. Can you check on him?" Which is different than swatted, but close to it.
From what I saw, he got kicked out of the first place because they kept calling, like people kept finding the motel calling him. The second place, he was just being loud, and they were like saying, "Hey, we got a noise complaint. You got to get out." And then they called the cops. That's what I thought happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The comments may have misled me then. Maybe I guess, because I was even thinking,
Well, they wouldn't do that.
how did they swat him in? How do they figure out what motel he's staying in? Because they're all the same background, you know? It's like, how do they know?
I saw a comment on one of those where people were like, how are these internet sleuths finding his hotel every single time? And a commenter was like, because he shows it. Every single time he'll lift up the room service menu and then tilt the camera and like in a way that you can just see
the address.
Like, it'll show partially out the window and it'll say Best Western, and he'll be talking about how he's at the Best Western in North Kansas City or whatever the fuck, and then they just immediately triangulate and find it out.
For the people that don't know what we're talking about, Blade was like doing his stream in a motel, like we said. And he is like comatose drunk. And the cops are outside the sliding door and they're like, Brian, you okay? And he's like non-responsive drunk. He's like holding like, I don't know, a piece of paper in his hand, doesn't matter. And like they're like taking it out of his hand. Like he's just not there. He's so drunk. I've never been that drunk, I don't think.
You can't even like decipher, like kind of decipher what he's saying. It's that bad.
Yeah.
People are like donating with like messages saying like trying to get him killed. It seems like they're like, I have a Glock. If you come in, I will shoot you. And it's like $3.
Yeah,
$3 to do that.
Yeah, that like as they're talking to him, that is absurd. Like, hey pigs, I dare you. Come in. I'm locked and I'm loaded. You can't stop me. JJ.
That must be him.
Look at these dumb fucking cops outside. They're like, you hear what he said? Lock and load, boys.
We got a volatile cyborg on the other side of this doorway, and we got to blast him. We got a real Terminator on the other side. Listen to that robot. Remember, boys, this does not have a soul. Do not believe. It's lies.
I think they had to break down the door.
It's
with
going to beg
shield.
you for mercy.
I saw in this clip, the one I saw, he was like sitting in a chair, like kind of nodding down entirely out. And then I saw cops come in, and it wasn't even like he couldn't have been combative or resistant to anything, even if he wanted to. He was so drunk. Like immediately they tipped over the camera, and the cops were like, we need to get a medic up here. Sir, how much have you had to drink? Are you all right? Are you understanding us? Are you there? Like, are you okay? Are you harmed? Like,
they took him to the hospital, I think.
I bet they did, because he wasn't responsive, at least in that short clip.
Oh, I bet
I saw.
They put him.
I have his phone number. Do you think there's any chance this old phone number is still right?
There's no way. Like I bet he's had to go through.
Actually, that's a good bet. I bet he doesn't give a fuck. I bet that's his real number.
That from 11, 12 years ago, dude. He's been messed with so much. He has to have a new number.
I bet he doesn't give a shit.
No, don't call him.
Bro's calling him. I love it. Did you?
Brian? Hello? Is this Brian?
Sir, this is the police.
Yeah.
Told you. I told you. The man has the same phone number.
I can't.
Say it again.
This is great. This is great.
You kept it over the years. Are you okay? Like, obviously you went viral.
Tell him he's on the show.
We can't hear him though.
All right.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know. I'm just checking. I was on PKA and they got to talking about you, and I was like, I wonder if this numbers is still right.
Tell him we love him, and we hope he's doing well, or I do anyway. Well, You know, I don't.
Yeah.
I love the sinner, not the sin. You know what I mean?
Are you in trouble? Like the police, everything's fine?
Love the sinner, not the sin.
That's
I hate to miss this tender moment, but I do have to run to the bathroom real quick.
Go
Yeah,
for it,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Go
for
for
I
it.
hope I don't miss anything too sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Woody will come back to us with some tidbits after this, I'm sure.
He will.
Uh,
Hopefully, little juicy gossip.
Yeah.
Juicy gossip,
Getting the-
maybe. That's so funny. He has the same fucking phone number.
They
from
said you were
13
drunk
years
Blade?
ago.
How slanderous.
I told you, there's no way in hell he
Well,
changed his number.
I should let you go. I'm doing my show right now. I was just thinking about you. And dude, I hope you turn out okay. Yeah, but they can't hear you.
They can't hear. Hope you turn out okay. Just
Yeah.
hey,
We do hope he turns out okay.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
dude, he's got to get on the chicken and broccly, bro.
Dude, that number was right.
I'm shocked. He really
Yeah.
doesn't. He's ignored a lot of calls over the years. Like,
Probably he saw me
Not
on
that
the
one.
caller
Look
ID.
at that.
Yeah, he
Picked it right up.
I don't know if I'm in his contacts. He's in mine, obviously, or if it's just the like caller ID.
100%.
But he was like, "Oh, I'll answer this and see if it's Woody." And there, I hope I didn't ruin the show or anything. But
No.
No, that was fun. No, I love that. No,
I don't know.
I'm shocked.
I worry for him. I know the internet will hate me, or at least some of them will, for not, I don't know, blasting him every time I hear of his name. But I know the old Blade from 15 years ago, and that's the one I
Good
root
things
for.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way. I kind of jokingly told Taylor, like, you know, love the sinner, hate the sin, but that's kind of where I am, if I'm being honest. It's like, man, that guy's got his demons, you know, real demons that you can see that come in liquid form, like always on his fucking back,
spirits.
you know, and then it's reinforced by that's kind of what he does for a living now is drink liquor professionally. And it's like, how are you going to beat that demon? The one that's like stealing from your left pocket and putting the money into your right. It's a rough one.
Yeah. That's
Well
not
praised.
a good track to go. Like everybody who ends up drinking for a living, like doing donos for alcohol, there's no way to keep that together. Like it will fall apart. There's just
And if you're an alcoholic, that must be the most attractive gig on the planet. You're like, shit, they're paying me to do what I lust to do. It like, imagine if my live streaming job was just receiving blowjobs.
yeah.
Here we go again.
I'd just be sitting there on stream like, oh, they hit the candy counter again. Ha ha. Oh no, you hit the hourly chip goal. You have to watch me eat a whole
Yeah.
fucking
So
bag of Lay's.
I mean, on one hand, you could say it's pretty predictable that wasn't going to turn out well, drinking for money. But you can also see how someone like Blade is so susceptible to that gig and how it took him where he's gone. And he sounded good, by the way. He was like completely coherent and
Good.
I don't know how to say with it in a better way. Like he was sharp. He
So
did-
seemingly.
must have been, yeah. But
Yeah.
And he said they took him. He said they took him to a hospital because they said he was drunk. And I was like, they said that? How slanderous. That's what that and I don't think he's in any kind of trouble. They just kind of evaluated him and released him as he sobered up. It sounded like so.
Yeah,
I really don't know that much about what he's up to overall, other than it seems like when I see clips of him, it's always in a new hotel or a new place.
Always piss on the floor.
Always
Is that part true?
Piss abounds. Yeah, I have
There's
seen
a few
multiple
clips.
clips. I saw a clip of him peeing outside of like a Marriott, like right out front. Like had a room in the Marriott, peed outside. Like there's a bathroom there.